this video is going to be on my extended bug out kit, or I'm leaving home kit. It's also my camping kit for when my friends say, hey, let's go camping next weekend. I can say, okay, I'm ready, let's go. It makes it a lot easier than having to spend a couple days getting everything together and have, finding stuff. This way I've got it all ready to go when I go camping, and also for when if I have to leave home. Now I plan on staying in my house. I plan on bugging in for as long as possible, preferably permanently, but because I live within about 40 miles, 45 miles of a major metropolitan area, because I live in the Rocky Mountains, I live up in the mountains, and I may have a problem because if things really get bad, people will start leaving the cities. And when they start leaving the cities, they're going to go up into the mountains, of course, where I live. So it may come to the point where I may have to retreat further back into the woods to one of my 5 different locations, depending on the migratory pattern of where people are going. This is enough to keep me going for about, maybe a month, maybe 2 if I ration carefully, until I have enough time to where I can get back home, or get back and see if my home is still there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to get started with the first one, the smaller of the 2, which is the food tote. And that is the one on the right. I've got things like dried foods. Now, I prefer to rely on dried foods more than canned goods or MREs or anything like that, for a couple reasons. One, you can get a lot more food with dried foods than you can with prepackaged foods like MREs or anything else. And it's a lot less weight. That's a big thing. Toting these things around, they're not going to be as heavy. So, starting with the foods, the dried foods, over here I have some pasta. This is just normal spaghetti. It's packaged in a Mylar bag just to keep it dry. This one had a small pinhole in it so it wouldn't seal upright, so I just used it to put the pasta in. The pasta is inside its little plastic bags in there anyway. So a little redundancy for waterproofing there. I've got a 7-grain mix, which I got from an Asian grocery store. I love this stuff. It's really good, very nutritious, and you can cook it up in about an hour. If you soak it beforehand, it takes 15 minutes to cook. Bag of flour for that. I also have a bag of rice. This is my biggest bag here. This is a lot of rice. So, and that's just your regular basmati rice. I have a container of sugar, which is good. This is kind of a little one that I put separate. It's got an 8-bean blend with spices in it and salt and white rice. So if I need to leave camp, I can take that with me. And that's about 4 days of food right there. So maybe 5 even. That's about 5 days of food. Then I also have the same 8-bean blend here. Huge container of that. You can see that's been vacuum sealed really good. I also have some granola bars. They store for a pretty long time and they're pretty good. So I have those just for quick energy if I need it while I'm working during the day. Also here I have my kind of comfort stuff. This is tea, hot chocolate, all sorts of different tea. I got about 200 tea bags in there. So I love tea. So, and I've got good quality tea in there. Repackaged some hot chocolate, other like herbal teas, things like that. I have those. And also, and this one is important, these are my spices. Now, I do have some spices in these. That's a little blend that I made up to go in these bags that go in my bug out bag and in my other kits and everything. But I figured, nah, I'm going to want a little variety. Because if you're eating the same stuff over and over and over for a month, you want to have a little variety. Believe me, it gets really old from all the backpacking I've done. Same diet gets pretty damn old and pretty dull after a while. So you want to spice it up a little bit. So I got about 7 or 8 different spices in here, also some salt, some pepper, just to make sure that, I'm able to change things up a little bit so I don't get bored with food. And makes life a little more bearable for a long term. Even a week of the same diet gets really annoying. So I've got a good variety here. I got some Gatorade for electrolytes, salt and potassium primarily. And also something to put in purified drinking water if it doesn't taste so good, or just to give me something to do. And also make sure your electrolytes stay balanced, because you're going to be working. You're going to be out there building shelters, gathering firewood, hunting for food. you're going to be really active. So you're going to lose some salt and potassium is really important. So I've got that. I also have a container of sugar over here. And then I've got some canned goods. I got some, of course, Spam. Oh, yes, the ubiquitous Spam. Got to have that, you know. Ugh. Anyway, but it's good protein. So I've got that. Some canned goods, which is primarily beans, some tomato. Back here, this one is condensed milk. Then I also have something very important, which I believe really important, is baking powder and baking soda. The baking soda has multiple uses, and the baking powder, well, you can make pancakes or something. But you can make soda bread with this if you run out of the baking powder, what have you. So these are good things to take with me. I have a container of kosher salt. I also have a container of yeast, so I can make bread. The bread is very important. So I have the yeast, salt. This is Montreal steak seasoning, which is kind of a little spice blend. I like it a lot. It's got roasted garlic and salt, pepper, several other spices in it, little chili flakes, things like that. I love it. And we have some tomato paste. I actually have a couple more cans I need to put in from the last time I went cooking or camping, and I was cooking spaghetti, so we used up a couple cans. Nice thing about this is very compact, and it makes quite a bit of like a spaghetti sauce or a red sauce for the small size. You just add water, boom, you're there. Add water, add some of the spices, you got a sauce. So then I have containers of olive oil, and you need oil. Got to have that. Got some maple syrup, some pancake syrup. It's not actual maple, it's the fake shit, but it works just as good. And it's cheap. And I can also use this as a sugar source with the flour, the salt, the yeast, everything to make some bread, so I can make bread. And then down here, of course, I got to have coffee. Got my coffee. You know, gotta have my coffee. So that's really important. This is the vacuum packed. It's not the best of. It's actually barely usable for me. I love good coffee, but this is better than nothing. And this one's been broken into. I got a couple more that are still vacuum sealed, and these are in Mylar bags, so I'm going to throw a new one in there when I'm done with the video. Then I also have one of my favorites, chocolate. So those little things like chocolate here, this can really brighten up your day when things look really crappy. It's nice to have a little chunk of chocolate to eat. And I got about 6 or 7 bars in there total. I think I got like 4 of the Hershey Special Dark, and then about 3 or 4 of the Girdelli, which are good. And then I have just some graham crackers, which these are good for multiple purposes. So that's what I have in the food, and yes, that all does fit in this tub. I got this Durabuilt tub. I know, I'm sorry, I had to go to Walmart, but I got it from Walmart. It is pretty durable. They're pretty good. I think it's like 10 or 12 bucks, so it wasn't that bad. And it's just to store this in, something to just get out of town with, so which is really nice. What I also like about it, it has these little slots on here on the top that go through the lid. So what I can do is use paracord and make lashings across it, and then with the lid on, and then with the paracord I can actually raise it up into the trees overnight or whenever I'm gone, where it's less visible to anybody coming around the camp. People don't look up for some reason. So if I put it 30 foot up a tree, people probably aren't going to see it. And also to keep it away from the critters. Keep it away from the bears, the foxes, the coyotes, even the mice, squirrels, well, the squirrels will probably get to it, but I doubt they can get through this. They're pretty formidable. But a bear certainly would just rip that thing open like it didn't exist. So, because they would love to get at this food. So that gives me a way to secure it pretty good. They're not entirely waterproof containers, but this would be at a camp where I would have it, put it in a tent or something and be able to keep it safe. So that's it for the food box. Okay, this second box, this is more of the food equipment kind of box. This is the box that I would have everything in that I need to cook with. Everything that would come in handy for cooking and all that. So first of all, this goes in a larger tub because I got to put in larger stuff in it. Let's go from left to right here. First thing that I have here is the old Coleman stove. Now this is one of the older ones, but this is the dual fuel. This one you can use gasoline or naphtha. Sorry, that was my phone. You can use dual fuel, so you can use gasoline or you can use the Coleman camping fuel, which is also just naphtha. I've also experimented with these before and I found several other fuels that work, but probably you just want to stick with the Coleman camping fuel naphtha or with gasoline. They're the ones that actually work the best. But this one is old. This one has been through hell and back. This is actually my father's. He gave this to me, oh God, years ago. This one is from the 1960s, and it still works great. It's about as robust as you can get. These things are damn near indestructible, which is more than can be said for some of the new ones. I compared it to the new ones, and the new ones just aren't as well built as these old ones. So I would suggest check yard sales, check pawn shops, a lot of other places for these old ones. These ones are just damn near indestructible. The new ones, well, like everything, they're making them cheaper and so they get better profit off it. So, and made in China. This one is the old one, is made in the USA. So good for that. As for this is a cast iron griddle, and one side it has a grill, the other side it has a flat top, so you can cook stuff on either side. It's good. It's pretty heavy, but it's worth it. And of course, cast iron. Gotta have a cast iron pan. Can't do anything without a cast iron pan. These are great. I love these things. They're heavy, but they're, once again, damn near indestructible. And then I have other things. Let's go with this. This is the filter. This is the filter and the little pick and stuff that you get for filling either your lanterns or the stove. This one also has a little pick to clear the jets on the stove if you need to clear the jets, things like that. I have that. So I have that, and I keep it in the container so it doesn't get contaminated with dust or anything. Then I also have some spare mantles for my lantern. I got 2 types of lantern, so I got 2 spares. These are 2 full bags, brand new, never opened. They just stay that way. Then, of course, for cleaning up and everything else, I got 2 full-size towels, a hand towel, and 4 washcloth-sized towels. So when you run out of toilet paper, you can go to these. These are important. So, but these help clean up, and they have multiple uses as well. Also, over here, this little bottle of bourbon. Why not? Goes great in coffee. And I got a water bottle. Now I'm going to have my big jug, but this is another water bottle. This is a 1.5 liter, I believe. And this one is good for if I need to leave camp for a while and everything for a few days. It's nice to have an extra water bottle. So I've got a utilitarian water bottle. Then I have coffee maker, but not just for coffee, but for boiling water. Everything else that works really good. So I have one of those. Then I have dish soap. I have a little bit of dish soap here, and usually a couple drops will do you. So that's actually going to last quite a long time. And then here I've just got some insect repellent. For some reason, mosquitoes think that I am made of sugar, and they love me. So I have to have that. I like that. I like having that. And that's good. So also, this is the cutlery box. This one I've got right there. I've got a knife right there. There's also a Leatherman. There's can opener, knives, forks, spoons, butchering knife, chef's knife. I think there's actually a couple can openers in there. And other utensils that are useful for cooking, like spatulas, things like that. And the ones that didn't fit in there, I have here. Meat fork and a Turner spatula there. So this is important to have. And this is plastic wrap. Just might as well have some plastic wrap, comes in handy. Then next, I have Lysol. I have Lysol spray. Well, why the hell would you have Lysol out in the woods? Well, it's actually a really good sterilizer. It's mostly alcohol, so it's a great fire starter. There's lots of different uses for the Lysol, so I keep one of those. And if you need to sterilize something or clean something up, that works really well. That actually will sterilize something. So that's a good thing to have. Then also I got a big pot here. I got a big stock pot. The big stock pot is so I can boil large amounts of water for purification, and also so I can make large batches of food, make soup, make stew, whatever I need. But this is primarily for doing water, nothing else. So then I've got a little thing here of some stainless steel bowls. And these are actually really cheap. They were these were the larger ones were $1 each. The cheaper ones were like 89 cents each. And these I got from a local restaurant supply store. I don't go get them retail. I go to local restaurant supply. They're much cheaper. Then here I have some plastic bowls and plates. Now the reason I chose plastic is, one, they don't break. They don't dent, nothing. Well, they will break, but that takes some doing. They're very durable and they're lightweight. So try to save weight wherever I can. You can see they're just normal onesies I buy in the summer at, I think it's Target or something, that they have the cheap, you know, like summer plasticware stuff. And it's cheap. It's really cheap, but it lasts a long time and it's really good. So also have some paracord here because you got to have a clothesline to hang up your towels. And also for raising up the food tote, anything else that you need the cord for. So there's about 100 feet there. Here, of course, Gorilla Tape. Gotta have Gorilla Tape. This stuff, it doesn't matter what you need. You need Gorilla Tape. This will fix damn near anything. You get a hole in the tent. You get a hole in the tarp. Whatever. Gorilla Tape. This stuff is wonderful. Next is another water bottle, but this one is stainless steel. The stainless steel water bottle, so I can use it to boil water in if I need to. And they are pretty durable too, so I have that. Some plastic cups, and I got these free from the Big Texan Steak Ranch, yeah, in Amarillo, Texas. When I eat the steak out there, you always get a free cup. So just cheap plastic cups, they're free when you buy the beverage. So I just grab about 6 or 7 and then just throw them in the kit. They're good to have. A couple rolls of toilet paper, okay, just to get you started. When you run out of that, you can go over to the other stuff too. So some sanitation stuff there too. Have another pot here. This pot, you know, you use it for making soup or stew or something like that again. So you still have this one for boiling water. So this one would be really good. Just something to make stuff in. And then I've got a roll here. This roll is, this is some 30-pound fishing line. Really heavy monofilament. This stuff works great though. You can even make snares with it. It works so good. You can make snares with it, use it to hold up a tarp, whatever. Very strong, really 100 different uses for this stuff. So I always have one of those. And it's lightweight. And then of course, one of the most important things that I have is the HTH Super Shock and Swim. Okay, this is pool shock. This is calcium hypochlorite. This is the same, or very similar to bleach. Bleach is sodium hypochlorite. Well, this is calcium hypochlorite. This is a full bag. This is 1 pound. Now for this stuff, you just need a pinch in like a big pot like that filled with hot water to wash all the dishes and everything and to sterilize them. This will help with sterilization. You can also use this as a water purifier. Just a tiny pinch in that big big container here. Just a tiny pinch will purify all that water for quite a while. So you can use that, and then of course you got to wait a while for it to dissipate, to come out before you can drink it. But it will sterilize the water. It will make the water drinkable. So, but this is just the basics of the kit. All this stuff fits in that one. All this food fits in the smaller one. All the equipment fits in the larger one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm missing in here. Oh, there's the hatchet. There's a small hatchet inside there. There is, I believe, a small hammer as well, a ladle. There's a lot of stuff here. But this is stuff that I can just grab and go. If this lives out in my garden shed, piled under a whole bunch of other junk so people can't see it. But it is there for when I want to go camping, or if worst case scenario, I got to get the hell out of Dodge, this is what I'm taking with me. This is 2 tubs that I can easily, within 2 minutes, throw in the back of the Land Cruiser and get out of here. And that way I've got food, I've got the equipment that I need, and then there's also a couple other totes that I'm going to be going over later. They're more like equipment totes with sleeping bags, tarps, the other stuff that you would need. But this is kind of the kitchen version. So this would be my kitchen when I leave home. This will give me what I need to be able to feed myself, my friends, my family, whoever's coming with me, so that we're able to get along for quite a long time and not have to leave for any resources. And of course, I'm going to put some more stuff in it too. I'll update this in a couple months when I expand it out more. But keep in mind, this might be a good thing to consider, is to have a unitized kit that you can just grab and go instead of having to run all over the place. Okay, I got to get this stuff from the kitchen. I got to get this stuff from the pantry. I got to get this stuff out of the shed. I got to get this here. I got to get that there. This is all ready to go. This I don't have to think about. I just grab and go. Oh, also, right here, bunch of trash bags. Probably about 10 of those big heavy-duty contractor cleanup bags. You want those too, because you can use those as tarps for shelter, or just to get rid of crap that you don't want anymore. So anyway, but once again, think about putting something together like this that would have the stuff you would need in it. I would figure on 2 weeks. 2 weeks to a month. Somewhere in there will give you enough time for things to either stabilize again, or for things just to go completely bad, and by that time the casualties have mounted up and there's far fewer people out there that you have to worry about when you start heading home again. So, but this would be enough to last you probably, this just for me, and this is just for me as an individual, this would be about a month. This would, I mean, the food would last me a month. The equipment, well, that'll last me quite a long time. So, but the food would last me a month. For 2 people, maybe 2 weeks. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a test this spring when I go out camping. I'm going to go out with some friends again, go camping, go to one of my retreat locations, or bug out locations as people like to say. But I'm going to go to one of my camping locations, and I'm also going to go out there to build a couple shelters and do some other stuff. So I'm going to make a video about that. So you'll see all this in action here next time when I do that this coming spring. Yeah, I know it's going to be about 4 months, but oh well, what can we do? But it's wintertime. So anyway, that's why I'm doing the videos inside again. So enjoy, take a look, think about putting something together like this. And of course, you want some redundancy and everything. So take a look, see what you like, and please rate it, give me a comment. If you think it's good, give me a comment. If you think it sucks, give me a comment. What am I missing? What am I missing? I need to know what I am missing. So I think I've got most everything covered, but if there's some glaring thing that I'm missing, please let me know. And subscribe. Please subscribe to my videos, because I'm home for the winter and I'm going to be putting out a hell of a lot more in the next few months. So until next time, this is Colorado.
Got to find the reason things went wrong.